Good evening, people. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we've got the Gr2 Nissans again for you tonight. This is round 6 live from Nurburgring GP track. So these are the Gr2 class Nissans. Plenty of aero, plenty of power. Let's just see who's in the room. Baggy Snails, madkwak, Steve Scooby, Pilgrim Paddy's a new guy. I don't know this guy. Might not even be P1, but it looks like he's in the room now. West Ham Daz, yeah, I think that's. Oh no, Pilgrim Paddy is still out, so he's just joined the track. So West Ham Daz is in the room. Weed King 420, diori-dori, Potomac Pot, Tatey Lives, Rear Wheel, myself obviously, Dylan Gr2. Everyone's shifting around now. Mockingweeks is in the room. Anyone I've missed? No, I think that's it. So we have got one or two missing tonight. We've got a case of poorly children, so all is forgiven. I know what it's like when the kids are throwing up. It can't be nice. So we have just jumped into quali. Let's just go and dive in and stop that big rowing noise. Flick some options on for you people. So I'll admit I had a bit of a panic stations moment earlier. I switched all my stuff on, did my usual stuff, tested my microphone levels and things like that, and I had no mic. I panicked crazily for a while, thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Possibly having to run downstairs and fetch my headphones from a mobile phone, that sort of thing, because at least they've got a microphone on them. And then realised that my microphone was switched off on my headphones. So yeah, completely my own fault. Just absolutely had a panic moment. So yes, we're on the GP track today. It's not the full Nordschleife or the 24-hour. This is round 6. I've got stand-ins for the current series at a minute. So holding the top spot is Zuzims, and he's currently on 106 points. Dylan Gr2 is in second, he's on 78 points. Mockingweeks is third, he's on 72 points. Steve Scooby just going a bit slow there. Raul Siam Baba, he is currently on 4th with 63 points. Dizzy AL3, he's in 5th with 55. Just below him, well, there's two people just below him with 53 points. Steve Scooby and Baggy Snails fighting it out for that 6th place. Rear Wheel 72, right behind those pair, he is on 43 points. And then 3 points below him, Don Dotter. Oh dear. I don't know what's happened here. Some lobby issues. I don't know whether someone else has opened up a lobby or whether we've just had a massive disconnect. No, there is no other lobby. So we'll just have to hang about, wait for the new lobby to be created. Unless I get a message pretty damn quick saying something major's come up and it can't be run. So where did I get to in the points? So Don Dotter, he was on 40 points. Diori-dori, he is right behind him on 38 points. On 37 points, only one point behind is Convict's Popeye. Big Les Kun then, he's next on the list, 29. Stewie Mac. So 13th for Stewie Mac in 27 points. 14th for Champ, and he's on 16 points. Tatey Lives, he's in 14 points. West Ham Daz on 10 points, and Weed King 420 on 8 points. I'm sure I missed someone out there. Did I read? Potomac Pot, yeah, did I read his out? He's on 15. So he's not been in all the races, old Potter McPot. Let me go for a quick refresh on this lobbies, see what's going on. Nothing come through on the chat group, so I'm assuming everything's alright. We're just waiting for the lobby to reopen. Doing a bit of testing today in preparation for the GTTCC, so the lobby is back open. That's good. Not a very good connection though, Baggy. So we will have to restart quali again then, be 5 minutes late. That's not a biggie. So that's one of my cars I will be driving this season. Racing for Team Quick Fit. That's in the MRC GTTCCs. That's in 2 weeks' time. So let's just make sure everyone's back in the room before quali starts. Dylan's left, unfortunately, so hopefully he'll be back. Who else are we missing? Can't see Don Dotter. Can't see Madkwak. Dylan's back. No Don Dotter, no. Tatey's back, okay. So they're coming through slowly and surely. I don't know what's happened there, people. Just a bit of a disconnect, I think. So let's go on track then. All the stuff's still turned on. Cars ghosting means that they've put in sort of auto drive while they're typing away. So quali starting to go 32. What? So I'm not sure if this is quali or not at the minute. Out of here is what it says. No, so we're still in practice mode at the minute. Excuse me. So the boys all rocking the darksmoka channel livery for me. Thank you very much. 2:23 out lap then for Baggy. Issue about Weed King, he's ghosted, so there's nothing to worry about for him avoiding. My mate Potter McPot out on track. He is not rocking a darksmoka tag on that car. Why not, Potter? Not happy about that. He's not a regular though, is Potter McPot. He does dive in and out of these races, depending how knackered he is from having his kids and whatnot. Steve Scooby got darksmoka smashed all over his car. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, all the boys rocking a little sticker somewhere or another. So West Ham does first man out on track at the minute. He's not long switched to wheels, so it has been a bit of a learning curve for him, as you can see there. So it'll be interesting to see in the next season or so how much he improves with his wheel. So Steve Scooby, oh, I missed that. So he's on a 149.4. Potter McPot just going to come over the line, 149.5. West Ham Daz has put himself in the pits. Waggy yet to put a time in. timing either. So a lot of the guys have actually just come out on track. Here's our friend Stewie Mac. He's actually an Australian, but now living in the UK. He usually is rocking the loudest livery car on the grid. So pink, green, orange, you name it, Stewie Mac's got it smashed on it. So again, still no hot times from most of these guys at the minute. Scooby, sorry, still out front with a 149.4. Not a lot of time behind him to Potter though. No, Potter's a quick driver. He's won a few leagues as Potter. He took Fusion League in GTTCC season 7, I think it was. Madkwak's back in the room, okay. So yes, Potter McPot won GTTCC for the MRC season 7. He won the Gr2 team versus team event last season with Next Gen. Potter McPot now putting himself up front. So 148.4 for Potter. There you go. Over half a second up from Mockingweeks in second. 49.0. Dylan Curtin in third, then 149.4. Steve Scooby unfortunately been pushed back to fourth then with a 149.491. Diori-dori 149.8. Rear wheel with a 150.0. Baggy Snails 150.2. Tatey Lives 150.5. Pilgrim Paddy 159.6. Weed King 201. So I think he's just ghosting around this qualifying session at the minute. So I've got both cars ghosting now. West Ham Daz then, his fastest lap is a 209.1. Stewie Mac at 153.5, but not showing up as a blue lap, so I wonder if he's had a penalty there. Madkwak, we have just seen him join the lobby, so he won't be putting in a hot lap anytime soon. So Potter McPot then still holding that top spot. Good evening, Dory. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for tuning in again. Weeks now in the pits, so I do say this quite a lot, but you will see the guys jumping in the pits in and out throughout the qualifying session, sorry, as they burn off a fair amount of fuel and jump in the pits for a fresh set of tyres and try to better that lap time. So Dylan Curtin then has pushed himself up in front of Mockingweeks, up into second then for Dylan, 149.017 then. Still over half a second back from Potter McPot. Pushing Mockingweeks back into third then. So just swapping places, those two. Diori-dori now up into fifth. 49.8 for Dory. Rear wheel 150.0 then on that third lap. Baggy 152 still. Tatey 150.6 on his second lap. Stewie Mac has now put in a hot lap, so 153.0. Pilgrim Paddy 159.6, sorry, for Pilgrim Paddy. Again, new driver to me. I don't know if he's a new member of P1. I haven't seen any new members join recently. Maybe I've just not been paying enough attention. So 10th place then for Pilgrim Paddy. Weed King still ghosting around the track. His fastest still only that 2:01.2. West Ham Dove still in the pits. Madkwak. I don't know why it went all weird then. So Madkwak's still yet to put a hot lap in then. Difference in tyres. There's Dylan out on the mediums, Potter McPot out on the softs. There's very similar wear between them. But, I don't know when they both came in for pit stops, so difficult to tell at the minute. So Mockingweeks still holding that third, not managing to better that time either. Track and whereabouts. So let's go on board. There we go. Let's go on board for a lap with diori-dori. If we can keep it on track, let's have a look. So we're on to the start finish straight then. Hit the line now. This first corner is an absolute nightmare. Castrol turn down into first gear for this one. Right back on yourself. You're powering slightly back up the hill. Hard left-hander. Be careful not to put the power down too early. It's quite a long corner. Down into this one, second possibly. He's dropped it into first. Again, not putting the power down too early, otherwise the back end's going to step. Powering out all the way down here into this third gear. RTLs and down to Ford. Second, he's down into first for this one as well. Okay, maybe kept it in second myself. Powers down the hill now towards Dunlop. Hard on the brakes for Dunlop. Massive hairpin. Powers up the hill now towards the Schumacher S's. Holding it out wide to the right, just sticking the wheel on the curb on all sides of the track. Taking those apexes lovely then, Dorian. And that second gear corner into this other second gear corner. Going through hats and belts. Up towards Vidal. Through the chicane. Again, difficult one to get right, that one. And full power. Straight. Again, an almost hairpin onto the start finish straight again. So that's a good lap from diori-dori. He is currently sitting in second place at the minute with a 1:47.9, so a really good lap there for Dory. Mockingweeks has had a smasher though, 1:47.0 for Mocking. So Potter McPot then down into third place through all that. He is out on fresh tyres though, so he's burnt off half a tank of fuel, stuck on some fresh boots. He'll be looking to increase that lap time now. Dylan Gr2 being pushed down into fourth then. Baggy Snails up into fifth, 1:49.2 for Baggy. Halfway through qualifying. Steve Scooby been pushed into sixth place then. Only managing that 1:49.4 on his second lap. Not managing to better that. Oh, he has got a 1:48.0. Again, must have had a penalty on that lap. Rear wheel 72, still he's got a 1:48.3 again there, but it's not showing up, so again must have had a slight penalty. Cut the track. Easy to do on some of these corners. Through the chicanes and things like that. Totally Lives then, he's increased his time, 1:50.1. That sticks him in 8th. Madkwak, he's got a 1:51.0 then, so that's put him in 9th. Pilgrim Paddy, a 1:52.8. Stewie Mac, so he's been in and out of the room by the look of it. So he's currently on a 155.8 then for Stewie. Weaking, I don't think, every time I flick to him he's ghosting, so not sure what's going on with Weaking, but he won't be getting very good lap times. West Ham Daz, so he puts himself in front of Weed King now with that 155.9. And that sticks Weed King at the back of the grid now. Another 147 for Mockingweeks there with absolutely devastated tyres as well. Diori-dori as well out on fresh tyres. He's burnt off about 2/3 of his tank. Rear wheel now popped himself into third, a 148.3, so a good drive for rear wheel. Potter Pot still in fourth. Dylan Gr2 pushed down another spot then into fifth, Baggy into sixth. Steve Scooby 7th. Tatey Lives just in the pits, fresh rubber for him. Madkwak still holding that 9th. Pilgrim Paddy as well coming in the pits. So racing mediums for Pilgrim Paddy. Stewie Mac still in 11th, West Ham Daz in 12th, that Weaking still ghosting. He's got a 158.4 there though, but again, must have had a bit of a penalty. So Potter Pot now then bettered his time, a 147.039. 200ths of a second back from Mockingweeks. Mockingweeks is back out on absolutely fresh rubber, so we'll see whether he can increase his lap time again. So Dylan's pushed himself back up into third with a 147.8. That's just popped Dory down into fourth then. He's out of the pits on fresh tyres. Just see what this lap is. I don't know whether this is an out lap. Yeah, that's an out lap, 157. So this will be another hot lap for Dory. So this section of the track's called the Mercedes Arena, not always used. If you use the 24-hour layout, it cuts off right at the start, at the end of the start-finish straight, and rejoins just there. So he's got blue sectors, which means he's better in his own personal lap time, but that's the purple sectors to be hitting top spot. So rear wheel must be getting to grips with these cars. 5th place for him at the minute. If you're racing next week, Potter, I expect to see a great big sticker on your car. Although saying that, we are at Donington Park next week for the GT3s. We have tickets for the weekend with garage access, grid walks, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to see what I can steal. Half a car, hopefully, maybe even a full car. Let's have a look. Must be able to slip something in my jacket. So Potter McPot and myself will be going to the GT3s next weekend at Donington Park. Give us a shout if you're going, let us know. Maybe we can hook up, shout at you from the other side of the pit lane. Dory just running himself a bit wide, but he has bettered his time. 147.4 now then for Diori-dori. Still only good enough for third. Starting to close the gap on Potter. Potter then in the pits. It's almost a second back from Mockingweeks. So Mockingweeks must have put in another absolute blinder. Just flick over to him in a second. 146.0 for Mockingweeks. That's going to be a tough one to beat, that is. Dylan Gr2, one of the only guys from P1 to get through the MRC time trial. I don't know where you ended up, mate. I don't know if that's actually finished yet or not. But he was doing alright. It was every driver from sort of every sim racing group I commentate over. I asked if they wanted to get involved, and it was sort of 100 odd drivers or 1,000 odd drivers. You posted your time in. It was a knockout sort of thing, and Dylan got to the last 4. I don't know how far you got from there though, mate. He's back out on racing super softs. 8.5 minutes left of quali. Still plenty of time to do some damage if he wanted to. The wheel's still in the pits then. He's got some absolutely worn out super softs. Snails then, still holding 6th place with that 149.2. Steve Scooby, he's left the lobby and come back, but he is in 7th. Madkwak 151.0, still not managing to better that time there, Madkwak. Steven Max still on a 151.2 as well. Pilgrim Paddy 152.8. West Ham Daz in the pits, Meeking in the pits as well. So, I was going to say I thought he wasn't ghosting, but he is ghosting. So it may just be because he's at the back of the pack and he's got faster drivers coming through that he is ghosted out. So back up with P1 at the minute. Mockingweeks, he's on a 146.0, so a blinding lap for Mocking. He's just pulling over and ghosting. Potter McPot then, he's still out trying to better his lap time. 147.0 for Potter's fastest. Almost a second slower than Mockingweeks, his fastest lap. Doesn't always relate to, translate over to race pace. You could be fast doing single laps, but come race, the pressure might get to you. Whereas other people might not do very well in quali, but absolutely smash it in the race. It's just one of those things. If you have a look at the lineup there, Baggy Snails, who's currently in 6th place. This man here, he pulled a Storm in 2nd place out of the bag the other week from sort of this kind of position. So he just played his cards right, just let everyone battle around him, worked his way through the pack slowly but surely, and took every advantage when guys were battling, etc, etc. Popped himself into 2nd, so as I say, qualifying time doesn't always relate to race pace. So Baggy then just started a new lap, so he has bettered his time, but he's still only in 6th place. Yeah, so 148.9 then now for Baggy. For some reason it wasn't quite showing up. West Ham is giving it one last shot then. Left of this qualifying session. So Mockingweeks is your current leader, 146.0. 146.0, but Pot's now put a blinder in. He's put a 146.2 in. So closing the gap on Mockingweeks. He's also in the pits then, looking to pop a bit more fuel in possibly, and a fresh set of tyres. So diori-dori then up into third, a 147.0 for Dory. Dylan Gr2 in fourth with a 147.6. Wheel in fifth with a 148.3. Baggy Snails we've just been talking about, 148.9 for Baggy, still holding that sixth spot. Tatey Lives has bettered his time as well, 149.2 for Tatey, that puts him into seventh, knocking Steve Scooby down a spot. Steve Scooby's hottest lap not on there. Madkwak on a 150.0. Stewie Mac a 151.2 still. Pilgrim Paddy a 152.8. West Ham Daz, he has bettered his time, 153.3. Weed King has also bettered his time, 155.1 as well for those two. Still a fair way off the pace, but it's not always about coming first. It's just being involved in a fight, doesn't matter where you are in the field, as long as you're having a good race. That's what this is all about. So he's putting in purple sectors again then, Mockingweeks, looking to increase that gap between himself and Potter. Taking a breather, Mockingweeks, and then trying to better his time. So Dylan Gr2 put himself in third, a 146.7 for Dylan. That's pushed diori-dori back to fourth. Rear wheel still holding fifth, Baggy in sixth still, Tatey seventh still, Steve Scooby eighth still. No positions moving at the back of the pack really. Madkwak bettered his time, 150.0 though, so up into ninth. So Stewie Mac still holding 10th. Oh, he's up into ninth. Week in 420, then up into 10th. Pilgrim Paddy then just run himself off track a little bit. And West Ham Daz then 153.3, that's his fastest at this moment. Pot back out on track, so he's left the room and come back. That's not like Pot, I don't know what happened there. Just a minute left of this qualifying session. Current standings, now that Potter's been in the pits and come out, that might just mess everything up. So Mockingweeks is currently in first. Dylan Gr2 currently holding second. No, so it has registered Potter then, but it won't actually let me flick to him. Dylan Gr2 in third, then Pot in second. Diori-dori in fourth, rear wheel 72 in fifth, Baggy Snails in sixth, Tatey Lives in seventh, eighth, Steve Scooby in seventh, Tatey Lives in eighth, West Ham Daz in ninth, Madkwak in 10th, Stewie Mac in 11th, Weed King 420 in 12th, and Pilgrim Paddy currently bringing up back spot on the grid in 13th. So yeah, quali is just about over. So the timer has ticked over. Most of the guys, still some guys doing hot laps. A lot of the guys pulled over at the side of the track, just waiting for quali to be done and the race to start. So I am just going to quickly go and have a look at. So fuel depletion times 4, tyre wear is on times 13. Wow. So yeah, tyres aren't going to last long in this race. We've seen 3 or 4 laps on those super softs and they are absolute toast. Steve Scooby then put himself back up into 7th. Let's push Tatey Lives down into 8th. Has bettered his time, 1:45.7 then for Mocking. Can't increase his grid positions anymore though. Well, 46.6 for Dory, fair. Yeah, so most of the guys, I think we've got like 1 minute left. Due to the lobby opening late, due to a disconnect or some issue like that. I think that's pretty much it now. So these are correct. Mockingweeks in 1st, Potter in 2nd, Dory in 3rd, Dylan in 4th, Rear Wheel in 5th, Baggy Snails in 6th, Steve Scooby in 7th, Tatey in 8th, West Ham Daz in 9th, Stewie Mac in 10th, Weed King 420 in 11th, and now I forgot. So just the last couple of positions, Weed King, Steve Mac in 10th, Weed King 420 in 11th, Pilgrim Paddy in 12th, and Madkwak in 13th. So, we're on board with Mockingweeks in P1. The revs are up, the lights are on. Just wait for those to drop. See who gets away. So we've had a stall on the grid. Oh, we've had all sorts of chaos. Mockingweeks has managed to keep top spot. Potter McPot right. Oh, he's on the inside. Potter McPot looking good to go for a move straight away, taking the place off. Oh, I don't know what's happened here. I think we've got some glitching going on. There's people going all over the place on this track. So Mockingweeks currently holding top spot. Nope, I think we're having a restart. Yep, we're going to have a reset. There was some glitching going on off the grid. Come on, PlayStation, sort your bloody servers out. How hard can it be? So these are the issues we get with PlayStation and Polyphony digital servers. They do seem to have some little moments. I'm sure if you're familiar with Gran Turismo, you've all been in the pits at some point when cars have been going upside down and crashing into the walls, and yeah, it's just little things like that. So we're back. Literally just be waiting for everyone to rejoin the room. And then the race will begin. back in the room. Dori's back. Tatey lives. So only one driver missing now. Is that Pilgrim Paddy? Oh no, he's in the room. We're missing Mockingweeks. Is he here? Yeah, Mockingweeks is here. Tatey lives, madkwak, Dylan, Weed King, Stewie, Mac, Mockingweeks, Steve, Scooby, West Ham Daz, Potterman Park, Rear Wheel 72, Pilgrim, Paddy and Baggy Snails. So we're good to go. A couple more seconds. Baggy will start the race. I think he's just got to add in diori-dori now he's turned up in the room. Bit loud, I know, but these are the only cameras I've got at the minute. Let's go on board with Mockingweeks and give my ears a rest, and yours for that matter. So Mockingweeks putting himself on the grid. Possibly practicing his starts by the look of it. 72 then decided he's going to go for a crash into the wall. Yeah, Mockingweeks just practicing his starts then. Potterman Pot did get a good run on him off the start from the previous start, so the final has been started then. A few more seconds. Right, we'll try again. So we're live from Nurburgring GP track. This is round 7 of the Nissan 16 GT2 Cup, hosted by P1. So again, we'll just keep an eye on the pack. We did have a bad start from the grey car in 8th place. I don't know who that is at the minute. The lights are out, they're all away, so we've still got a couple of bad starts. I don't know what's going on there. Potterman Pot's got a really good run on Mockingweeks. He's taken that place off him now. So straight up into first place for Potterman Pot. Mockingweeks having to stick himself into second. Rear Wheel 72, he's got a really good start. He's up into third then, got past Dylan Curtin. Steve Scooby as well, got a good start, he's up into 5th. He's got Baggy Snails looking around the outside of him. So, good battle for third at the minute. West Ham Daz being chased down by Pilgrim Paddy. And madkwak, not 8th place. Stewie Mac, oh, so Stewie Mac's stuck on the grid. So unfortunately we've got some issues, still having server issues. Potterman Pot then, he's half a second up. So 1.6 seconds up left from Mockingweeks. Oh, so Mockingweeks then, I'm not sure if he's even still in the room. Oh, looks like we're having another restart. Cool, blimey. Yep, that's just what I've said, Baggy Snails, bloody GT Sport. Tatey, get yourself back in the room, mate. Oh, he's here, but get yourself back on track. Right, let's get everyone on track. Madkwak saying his bum's gone numb, he's been sat in the seat so long. So yeah, when everyone's back on track. West Ham Daz has left, let's hope he comes back. Tatey Lives has left as well. So last restart, hopefully all goes to plan, says Baggy. Yes, let's hope so. There's only so many restarts you can do. I've had this problem myself, my friend. So I am just going to stay out of that for a minute until everyone's in the room. So just waiting for Madkwak to get in. That's it. So we're in. Less brake, rear wheel, less brake. You only need to actually be touching your brake a tiny little bit. Evening, Burn Fry, how you doing, my friend? We're having some issues tonight. Genuine, normal, everyday. Blimey, that's blowing my ears up. Oh, that's better. Yeah, just your general flipping GT Sports server issues. So we're just waiting for everyone to get back on track and the race will start for the third time. So I don't know if we've got everyone. So we've got 11 drivers in. Diori-dori's back, Madkwak's in, Dylan Gr2's in, Wheat King's in, Stubby Max in, Mockingweeks is in, Potter McPot is in, Steve Scooby is in, Pilgrim Paddy is in, Baggy Snails is in, and Rear Wheel 72 is in. So we are just waiting for one more driver. Less brake, Rear Wheel. You only need to physically touch the brake, just as long as it's showing. As long as it's showing, you won't be going anywhere. And then probably half revs, I'd say. Number 1 on your traction control, and then blip your traction control off once you're up to speed. So we are just waiting for West Ham Daz to. He has joined the room, but he's just got to get on himself on track. Once he's on track, the race will begin. I hope. So just having a flick through. There's a good selection of different tyres on the cars. So Scooby's on the softs, Rear Wheel is on the softs, Baggy is on the softs, Pilgrim Paddy is on the mediums, Potter McPot is on the mediums, West Ham does the mediums, Mockingweeks, he's going for the super softs, Stewie Max on the hards, Weed King is on the softs, Dylan Gr2 is on the mediums, and Madkwak is on the softs as well. So Diori-dori and West Ham Daz now to join the room. So Rear Wheel does look like he's still trying to practice his starts. West Ham Daz is in the room then. I think that's probably it. So Rear Wheel then just practicing his starts ready for the race. These two are the only two out on track at the minute. We've just had some serious server issues. We've been kicked out of the lobby once already, a whole lot of us. 2 starts so far. This is the 3rd and final one from Baggy Snails. He says he's not doing another, and I don't blame him either. So we'll try that again. So Mockingweeks in 1st, Potter in 2nd place. I think Dylan in 3rd, or is it diori-dori? Let's have a look. So Mocking in 1st, Potter in 2nd. Diori-dori in 3rd, Dylan Kilton in 4th, Rear Wheel in 5th, Baggy in 6th, Steve Scooby in 7th, West Ham Daz in 8th, Stewie Mac in 9th, Weed King in 10th, Pilgrim Paddy in 11th, madkwak in 12th. So we're on board with Mockingweeks. The lights are on. 3rd time lucky. And they're out. Oh, we've got another glitch start. So I think this is going to be it anyway. So Mockingweeks is keeping that top spot. Potter is under some serious pressure from Dylan Kilton down the inside then, who's taken that place off him. Run himself wide then, so Potter's able to take that place back. Mockingweeks has had a stormer. He's nearly a second up the road already in 3/4 of a second in 2 corners really. So Dylan into 3rd then. Rear Wheel 72 in 4th place. So he's had a good start. Steve Scooby in 5th. Baggy Snails in 6th. Madkwak is up into 7th, so good start from Madkwak. Stewie Mac in 8th. Pilgrim Paddy in 9th. And West Ham Daz in 10th. So we have had some issues. We've had one leave. I think we've got one car stuck on the grid. So Mockingweeks then nearly 2 seconds up the road. He's not messing about. Potter is under some pressure from Dylan. So same tyre strategy for these two. Dylan's gone for a look down the inside, but Potter's got the inside line for that corner. They are side by side into this next corner. Dylan's got the line. Potter just having the power. Dylan's had to tuck him behind him. But he'll have a good run up towards the hats and belts, towards Vidal. So through the chicane then. Managing to keep it clean through there. Still under pressure from Dylan though, right behind him on the start-finish straight. So Dylan will get a tow down here, possibly be able to make a dive into that first corner. We'll just stay with this fight for a minute. So Mockingweeks then, he's having an absolute blind at 3.3 seconds on the road. So Potter having to go slightly defensive then. He's kept that 2nd place. Dylan's still in 3rd then. Rear Wheel still holding 4th. Steve Scooby in 5th, Baggy Snails in 6th. So still a good fight there between these guys. Battle for 2nd and a good battle for 4th as well. We'll just manage to eke out a bit of time then. It's closing onto the back of the pack, back of Dylan Kilton and Potter McPot's little fight. Extending out a little bit now. Madkwak having a good start. He's up into 7th. Pilgrim Paddy in 8th. Again, this guy's a new driver. I don't know much about him, so we'll keep an eye out on him throughout the race. See how he gets on. West Ham Daz in 9th then. So he's managed to get past Stewie Mac. I don't know whether Stewie Mac's been off track. He's 6 seconds back from West Ham Daz. So back up to the front, Mockingweeks now 4.6 seconds up the road. He is on the super soft. His tyres will wear out a hell of a lot quicker than the guys behind him. Potter is on the mediums, and Dylan Kilton is on the mediums as well. So just extending that gap a little bit then. Potter, he's 1.2 seconds in front of Dylan. Closing the gap a little bit on Mockingweeks as well. So I know Potter likes this track. He likes most of the Nordschleife or most of the Nurburgring tracks. So here we're looking to close that gap down to Mockingweeks. As I say, Mockingweeks tyres are wearing out at a much faster rate than Potter McPotts. Fastest lap as well for Mockingweeks, 1:47.4. Kilton's still in this fight, 1.5 back from Potter. And then the fight for fourth between Rear Wheel 72 and Steve Scooby, so there's only 3/4 of a second gap between those two. Almost a second now, 2 seconds between sixth and fourth. So Baggy Snails looking to get on the coattails of Steve Scooby and have a pop at him. Madkwak kind of out on his own at the minute. 4 seconds in front to Baggy Snails and 3.5 back to Pilgrim Paddy. Sorry, 5.5 back to Pilgrim Paddy. He's keeping that gap pretty consistent between him and West Ham Daz as well. Stewie Mac just losing more time, so Stewie Mac down to 9.6 seconds back from West Ham Daz. So 5.6 seconds down the road. So I don't know what happened to Potter McPott, but Dylan Kilton's got past him. Like he had a bit of a moment coming out of the last corner onto the start-finish straight actually, and allowed Dylan to just keep his line and take the place off him. And that's allowed the gap between this fight and Mockingweeks to extend. He's 6.3 seconds on the road. Potter McPott will be desperate to get back past Dylan and chase Mockingweeks down. That looks exactly what Dylan Kilton's trying to do now. 6.1 seconds the gap then between Dylan and Mockin. Both of these guys, Potter and Dylan, on the medium tyres, whereas Mockingweeks is on the super softs. You can see his front tyres are almost halfway worn now. He will have to pit earlier than the boys on mediums. Potter doing slightly better on fuel as well. Possibly not enough yet to benefit him in any way. The rear wheel is under some pressure now from Steve Scooby. Let's see if we can go on board and get a bit of action. So just half a second back then, Steve Scooby. Closing that gap up towards the chicane. Losing a bit of time through there than rear wheel, allowing Steve Scooby to close the gap massively down to 0.3 of a second. He's got a slightly better line as well. He's got a good drive out the corner there, rear wheel. Just opening that gap back up to 0.4 of a second. Again, Steve Scooby will have the toe, but maybe not close enough. Oh, that's so close. Looking for a dive down the inside then, Steve Scooby. Having to back off at the last second. So super softs, and it's super soft versus softs at the minute, so you can see the difference. Rear wheel having to just be a bit more cautious on his putting his power down, and that's allowed Steve Scooby to take that place off him up into fourth then for Steve. So rear wheel's now got to be careful that he doesn't get attacked by Baggy Snails behind him, because that gap is coming down as well. So it's 0.7 a second back to Baggy Snails, who's also on the softs. So he's brought the gap down a little bit. All over those curves, Baggy. Go all over those curves, mate. You'd have made loads of time on him. He's keeping him in check though. Has closed the gap on Steve Scooby, looking to take that place back off him. Oh, he's just run himself wide on the chicane though. He might pick himself up a penalty for that. I don't know how wide he was. Baggy Snails has chucked himself in the pits then. So first guy in the pits. So he's in on the softs. Let's see what he comes. He's out on the mediums. Half a tank of fuel. And still in 6th place. So fair play to you, mate. So Mockingweeks then. The gap come down. He has been in the pits. So he's been in the pits. Fresh super softs and a 2.7 gap still to Dylan. Dylan has not pit, nor has Potter, I don't think. Dylan's Gr2's tyres on the mediums are way more worn out than Potter's. Keeping that gap at 2.5 seconds though. Not a lot to worry from behind for Potter. Steve Scooby's 5.1 seconds back. Rear wheels lost a bit of time to him then as well. 2.3 seconds back now for rear wheel. So it must be really struggling on those soft tyres. You look at the wear on those in the bottom left-hand corner. They are devastated. So Baggy Snails been in the pits, come back out in 6th. So not losing any places, but a fair old chunk of time. So Potter McPot then looks like he's had an incident. He's down into 5th now. So I don't know what happened there. He won't be happy about that. So I decided to stop out still. But that's allowed rear wheel up into 4th place. And Steve Scooby up into 3rd place. They are 9 seconds back from Dylan Gr2. Plenty wear on those soft tyres. As I say, the mediums are holding out a load better than the softs. Unless you're chucking that car sideways, Potter, then they won't last. But he's got the better traction, the better grip coming out of the corners as Potter, you can see. So taking that place back off rear wheel 72. Now closing the gap on Steve Scooby then. So just 3.5 seconds behind is Potter McPot. But he should be able to make a bit of time looking at Steve Scooby's tyres versus Potter's. Steve Scooby's got to be careful, he doesn't just put the hammer down a little bit too early. Lose the tail end of that Nissan coming out as one of these corners. Down to 3.3 then the gap. We're just extending through there. So almost down to 3 seconds. Potter shaping off almost 4 hundredths of a second, sorry, 4/10 of a second. Through those couple of corners in the chicane. Steve Scooby back onto the start-finish straight. Dylan Gr2 now in the pits. So he's got tyres, he's just taken on board fuel. So back out on the mediums, just over half a tank. Steve Scooby right on him now, but Steve Scooby has yet to pit. So Dylan Gr2 then keeping that 2nd place. Steve Scooby, he's going to be under no illusion. There's no way he's going to be able to take that place off Dylan. Potter McPot then, he's closed the gap down to 2.2 seconds. He's dragged Baggy Snails with him. There's only just about a second gap between Baggy and Potter as well. So that means, where's he gone? So rear wheel has gone in the pits then. He's got 3/4 of a tank and he's back on the mediums. Down to 8th place though. So let's go and check on Mockingweeks then. So he is 18 seconds up the road. He's still holding that top spot as well. 1:47.4 as well for fastest lap. absolutely blinding race they're mocking. Storming away with it at the minute. So yeah, Dylan Kilton then making a lot of time up on Steve Scooby. And that's allowing Potter to close the gap right on him now. So both of these guys in the pits. Oh. On both of these as they go in and come out. Baggy Snails has stopped out. He did pit earlier than these boys. That's put himself up into third. He has only got a quarter of a tank though, so he will have to pit again. Potter Pot and Steve Scooby. So Potter Pot's got out in front of Steve Scooby. Softs for Potter, just over half a tank. Mediums for Steve Scooby. He's got just over half a tank as well. See whether these boys have to come in again. I would have thought they probably do. Pot then, he's extending that gap between himself and Steve Scooby. 1.8 seconds between that pair now. Madkwak pushed himself up into 6th with a pit stop as well, so he's in front of rear wheel 72. So fair play, Madkwak. Started quite far down the grid. Rear wheel 72 down into 7th, then Stewie Mac in 8th. Stewie Mac on the hard tyres, that's a bizarre choice. Everyone else on the mediums or softs or super softs, and it was only Stewie Mac out on the hards. So Pilgrim Paddy then, he's also stopped up into 9th place for Pilgrim. West Ham Daz in 10th place, he's also been in the pits as well, so he's out on the hards as well actually, full tank of gas, so that'll definitely last him till the end. So Baggy up into 3rd, that's right, yeah, so Dylan into 2nd. He is closing the gap on Mockingweeks a little bit, but not enough, because I think Mockingweeks has got a pit stop in hand, so he could get in the pits, get fresh tyres and fuel and be back out before Dylan's giving him any pressure. Madkwak now in the pits, so he's in on the mediums, he's taking on board fuel as well. So rear wheel 72 then taking that place off him, so that'll be him filled to the end of the race. It comes out in 7th then for Madkwak. Stewie Mac under some pressure from Pilgrim Paddy, side by side down here. Pilgrim Paddy got the inside line, a little bit of contact, Stewie Mac just having to relinquish that place. So down into 9th then for Stewie Mac, Pilgrim Paddy up into 8th. Pilgrim Paddy losing it through there then, allowing Stewie Mac to get that place back. Didn't see what happened to Pilgrim Paddy through there. Just running himself wide then, Stewie Mac, allowing Pilgrim Paddy to get that place back off him. So up into 8th then for Pilgrim Paddy. West Ham Daz is in the back of this fight as well, so even though in last place, he's closing the gap on this pair. Whoa, just drifter-tronicked it through there, looking to hold on to that West Ham. But still closing the gap on Stewie Mac, just a second between them now. Looking it the wrong way. So West Ham does then, easily going down the inside of Stewie Mac. Might look like he got him then. gap on him up towards Weedall chicane. He won't get it done through here, but he will possibly get it done on the start-finish straight. He has come in the pits. That's allowed West Ham Daz to just take that place off him then. So into the pits of Stewie Mac. Unfortunately, that puts him down to 10th place. Mockingweeks then, so 13 seconds up the road then. That gap coming down between him and Dylan. As I say, I think he has got about a pit stop in hand, so we'll see now. His racing super soft's absolutely battered again. So we'll see where he comes out. He does have to take on board fuel. Where's Dylan? So Dylan just going around the start finish straight. So he will take that place off Mockingweeks, I think. No, Mockingweeks has managed to get out in front of him, but only just. But he will be on fresh softs. He's holding a little bit more fuel than Dylan, but the softs will work in his favour. But the fight's on now. As long as Dylan doesn't do things like that and allow Mockingweeks to just pull away from him. That seems to be the case though. So 1.2 the gap already. Pot now in third, so he's 14.5 seconds back nearly from Dylan Gr2. Steve Scooby down in 4th place, so he's got Baggy Snails for company. Down as well. So we're on board with Baggy Snails as he chases down Steve Scooby. Let's see if we can get a driver's perspective. Here we go. So coming into this hard third gear corner. Bit corner I think it's called. Fire themselves down the hill. Hearts and belts. Towards the Weedall chicane. Hard on the brakes, down into the second gear for this. As much curb as possible. So keeping him in check at the minute is Baggy Snails, not letting Steve Scooby go anywhere. 7.5 minutes left of this race. He's looking for a move, is Baggy. He's not quite close enough, but Steve Scooby's run himself wide. That's going to allow Baggy to close that gap massively. So he's putting the pressure on Steve Scooby then. Let's see how much that gap's come down. Baggy Snails all over the back of Steve Scooby. He's just waiting for that one opportunity. They're keeping it respectful. So can Baggy get a move done into Dunlop? He's got the inside line. He's got slightly better tyres as well, so he's going to get that place quite easily off Steve Scooby. So up into 4th then for Baggy. But Steve Scooby's not going to let that lie. He'll be chasing him down as hard as he can. Still only 0.3 of a second between them. Baggy Snails then just increasing that gap over a second now between Baggy and Steve Scooby. There's a lot of work to do if you want to try and catch up with Potty McPot. He's got 12-second gap up to 3rd place and only 6 minutes of this race remaining. Potty McPot then has closed the gap on Dylan. Dylan's been in the pits out on super softs. benefit him for 1 or 2 laps. Ultimate Pot is out on pretty worn softs though, so just keep an eye on that gap between Dylan and Potter. 6.2 at the minute, 6.3 now. Oh, so Potter just getting the back end loose on there. Doing well to control that really, but losing a lot of time to Dylan. So Baggy Snails has increased that gap to Steve Scooby, 2.3 seconds up the road. And obviously with Potter McPot's little mistake there, that's allowed that gap to come down between himself and Baggy, 10.5 that gap. Still not quite close enough, I don't think, Baggy, to get that done. 2 laps remaining of this race really. Maybe 2 and a bit. Maybe 3. Well, you won't get a part lap, will you? Get 3 laps. So yeah, Steve Scooby being dropped by Baggy Snails. He's got nothing to worry about from behind. Almost a 30-second gap back to rear wheel 72. And he has got 17.5 seconds back to this man, Madkwak. He's done alright, he's up into 7th. He's got 17 seconds either side of him, actually, as Madkwak, so 17 seconds back to Pilgrim Paddy as well. Potter McPot putting himself in the pits for fresh set and a little bit of fuel. West Ham Daz then up into 9th, then after getting past Stewie Mack. And Stewie Mack only 4 seconds off the back of that pair. If they keep battling, he might stand a bit of a chance of making a place or 2. So back out to Mockingweeks, the man up front. He's bettered his lap time at 1:47.0 now, so that's the fastest lap currently. 9.3 seconds to gap up to Dylan. As I say, Potter's just come in the pits. Fresh set of super softs, quarter of a tank of fuel. But I don't think there's anything you can do with that. He's too far back from Dylan to make a move, unless Dylan has a mistake, but he's just come out on a fresh set of super softs as well, so plenty of grip for him. Baggy Snails only 4.8 seconds off the back of Potter, 4.3 now. Oh, Steve Scooby's just run himself wide onto the sand. That's his chances of taking that 4th back off Baggy done and dusted. He's now he's 10 seconds back right now. And he's almost done it again there. Rear wheel 72, then still holding that 6th. Again, nothing to worry about really. This seems to be where the most action is. 8th, 9th and 10th. Pilgrim Paddy, West Ham Daz and Stewie Mack still in a bit of a fight. So Stewie Mack closing the gap on West Ham Daz. Both got a good run through there. Then, as I say, he's a fresh driver. I've not seen any of him. Obviously a new driver to the P1 community. He's doing alright, he's kept it clean. I bet he's feeling the pressure right now with these 2 chasing him down, even if it is for 8th place. Like I say, it's not always about taking the win, it's just about being involved in a damn good race. And that's what's happening behind him. So Stewie Mack looking for a move on West Ham Daz. Not the place to be doing it into that chicane really. So the gap's staying pretty consistent, just about a second between them both. Stewie Mac right on the tail of West Ham Daz looking for a tow. So we are 30 seconds away from the counter ticking over. I think that's Mockingweeks just flown past these guys, gone for a lap. Yes, it is. So Stewie and Mac, why wasn't I paying attention? He's got past West Ham Daz then. I think I was too busy looking at Stewie Mockingweeks. So up into 9th then for Stewie. So we'll go and have a look at the front runner, Mockingweeks. He's pretty much led the race from the beginning. He had a good start. He almost lost a place to Dylan, but managed to keep it on the first couple of corners. And he's just stormed away with it from the get-go, really. So he started on the super softs. Most of the other guys started on the softs or the medium, so he just managed to make that first lap or two gap over the guys. Just give him enough breathing room to, you know, not worry about him. Just keep to his lines. So yeah, he's had a really good race, his Mockingweeks. So a lot of the guys have actually crossed the line. Baggy Snails has crossed the line already. Steve Scooby in rear wheel. We'll just stay on board with Mockingweeks on this final lap. So he just comes through the Weedall chicane and towards the start finish straight. Just go on board with him as he crosses the line. So good race there for Mocking. First place well deserved. 6 seconds back to Dylan. Dylan then just bringing it up second place. Potter McPot then coming around the last corner. So third place for Potter McPot. He's going for the obligatory handbrake across the line. You just better hope he makes it across the line before Baggy Snails. There's no pressure, he's already crossed the line. So Potter McPot is the last guy to cross the line, so he's just doing donuts on camera. So he has actually donutted his way across the line now. Thanks, Potter, for finishing that race. So yeah, another good Nissan race from the P1 boys. Again, super clean. No issues, no dirtiness, which is exactly why we join these sim racing groups. Why do you want to be a streamer, Dory? You can't be, it's my job. But yeah, another good race from the P1 boys. Let me just give the usual congratulations. I've missed the damn thing. There we go. Didn't take me long to find it this time, did it? Oh, not that one. What are you doing? Come on. There we go. So yep, Mockingweeks in first place. Dylan Gr2 in second. Potter McPot in third then for your grid, your top 3 podiums for that race. Just want to pull that up. So that means that Dylan Gr2 is going to. He's still going to be in second actually. Zuzims is still taking top spot. So. Will Mockingweeks take? I think Mockingweeks will actually end up in second. Dylan Gr2 will be in third. But Potter McPot will jump up the places. He's only on 15 points at the minute, but with the third place there, he will get a good 18 points. Oh, sorry, 15 points for that. So that will chuck him up the order massively. I will get back to you next week with current standings. I'm not going to work it all out now because I can't be bothered. My brain won't do it. So yeah, another P1 race done and dusted. I'm back tomorrow night for the NGR Chloe Hewitt Cup. That's the Mini Coopers. First race of those last week. Tomorrow's night's race will be the second of a classification race, so the first 2 races are just to sort of put people in their initial leagues, etc, etc. So it will only be a classification race tomorrow, and then I'm back Wednesday for round 2 of the GR3 team versus team session. That's these boys here again, P1 versus MRC versus Next Gen versus GTSV. That's 4 different sim racing groups. And that's, yes, there's a team versus team in the GT3s. So I'm back then for that. Then Thursday for P1 boys again for the Toyota Concept Cup. That's always a good one to watch. Short tracks, feisty little cars. It's always really good action. So come and check that out. And then I'm back next Sunday for round 8 of this. I think, is it the final next week, or is there 10 rounds of this? I think there's 10 rounds of this. Yeah, there's 10 rounds of this. So we're back next Sunday for round 8 of this. But yeah, come and check me tomorrow. I will be back in about 2 weeks' time with some swearing and screaming and shouting and cursing on stream, because I'll actually be behind the wheel racing the GTTCCs in the new season 10. So if you've got poorly, if you've got little kiddies and you don't want them corrupting, then don't let them watch my racing. Watch my streams, fine. If the commentary, that's fine. But when it comes to me racing, that's a whole different kettle of fish. There are some on my channel. If you go and check the GTTCC, I think there's a playlist. Go check them. I'd say within about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you've got kids, you'd be turning it off. But yeah, that's another one done for me. So hit like, hit subscribe, all that malarkey. I'll put links in the description below to the P1 boys. If you fancy getting involved, go check them out on Facebook. Hit up Steve Morrill or Baggy Snails, the man on screen, Baggy Snails, and he'll hook you up. Maybe we'll see you on track. Rightio guys, Darksmoka out.